podcast. Okay, so preparing to get ready in a minute.
Hello, recording is happening.
Recording, there's no space in my computer. So we are not. Get ready in a minute.
Hello, recording.
There we are. Okay. All right. So hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to all of you. It's a wonderful day out there, and inviting all of you to actually participate in today's webinar, and I will ask you how. So today's webinar is all about dealing with difficult people. Dealing with difficult people. In our lives, at all points, we get to see people. Just a second, somebody's writing. In Zoom, there is option to record to the cloud. I know. That also is full, and I've never found the time to. I've never found the time to go out and look at those and empty out. So it's coming live stream on YouTube, and so it's already getting recorded on YouTube. So going back to the topic. All right. So today the topic is dealing with difficult people. In all our lives, each of us has had the opportunity to meet with some difficult people and to deal with them. And today we just simply talk about how to understand that in the energies so that dealing with such people becomes a game, a part of life, but a game and not something that we have to struggle with. And so once we figure out the energy that is calling out to us, it'll be easy for us to work on ourselves. And so as I keep talking about the difficult people, and I can only pick up examples from my life, so I will do so. But as I do so, I would like to invite all of you to write a few things on chat as to what your idea or your experience or you're dealing with the characteristic that you define as a difficult person. So that when you talk about your own life, and I find really difficult to deal with this person, and this person is stubborn, and this person is obstinate, etc., etc. When you talk about your life, I will be able to pick up some of those threads and talk about them too, so that you will get a much more larger perspective on what you consider as difficult people. Not just my perspective, but something that you can take into your own life as well. You already know what all I'm going to say, but still, just coming to deal with people in your life on a daily basis. So sometimes it's so funny, we are born into families where we're already dealing with difficult people. Father is difficult, or mother is difficult, or grandparents are difficult, whatever it might be. And we, even as kids, we are finding that we find our comfort zone. If we can see that this person doesn't like us too much, doesn't care for us too much, then we tend to find a safer spot for ourselves, just so that we can protect ourselves from them. As life goes on, we come into friends, and sometimes we are part of we are at the receiving end of bullying. And when we get bullied, we have to deal with many difficult people who are all in our circle. Yeah. Then as it moves forward, sometimes it might be that we get married into difficult families. They don't resonate with who we are, and so we are married into a difficult family, and more of the bullying continues. Yeah. That also is simply just what you would define as, well, pretty much the same exact definition of bullying. But it's happening to you in some way or another. None of us have been able to escape it. And so today, to look into the energies as to what it is that it is here for us to learn when we go through somebody being difficult. Somebody on the outside being difficult. A boyfriend, a husband, a spouse, an in-law, a friend, a parent, and then finally circle being complete with children. Some people are blessed to have difficult children, And so the circle just doesn't end at all of these other places. It goes on to be that, oh my God, my child is so difficult to deal with, don't know what to do. When we look at the energy space of all of it included, every relationship on the outside included, the answer from me will always be one. Look within, look within. It's you that they are calling out to. So I'm going to read some of the comments. I think they've already begun, and as they go on, we will keep talking about it. All right then. Cold behavior and strong judgment is their uniqueness, says one. Cold behavior. Cold meaning somebody is not treating you with love, and somebody is treating you outside of love, or really not caring about you and simply giving their judgment out. Now, before we even dabble into your stories, let me begin with the most recent story that has happened in my life, which was just quite hilarious, and amongst many of the instances of dealing with difficult people, this happened when I was in full awareness. So this is how the story went. We moved into this apartment that I keep talking about. We moved into this apartment, and this apartment had a whole host of issues. So as soon as we moved in, it was a very beautiful place, but as soon as we moved in, we started to find this issue, that issue, just right around, everything in this place has an issue. And so there is an architect who has created this apartment, all the interiors and everything. And that is where we were supposed to go. The landlord said, go and talk to this person, and she's going to help you out with whatever you're going through. Okay then. So we start to deal with this person. And we quickly find out that no matter what we say to her, she is just not listening. She's just not listening. I said, this room has a very strange smell which comes every now and then, and that smell is impossible to live with. It is just such a strong smell. It's almost potty smell. You cannot be here. So she comes over here, and I've already told her it happens a few times in the day, but she comes and says, oh, there's no smell. I don't see any smell. And that's the end of that. So we have to then invite her into the house again and again, just to prove to her that we are not lying, that indeed there is smell. But now 3 weeks have already gone by, and then she comes and she takes in the smell and everything. She goes back, and 2 weeks later she's like, oh, but the smell is only in that one tiny part of the room. It's not anywhere else. And I said, no, the room is giving the smell, but there is smell everywhere else as well. It's downstairs as well. We already told that to you. No, you never told that to me. All right, we tell it to you now. 2 weeks go by. She's back to, oh, there is no other smell. Actually, that smell also is hardly ever there. So what we found was that no matter what we speak, she doesn't listen. So frustrating. So difficult to deal with when a person is not listening to you. And so I kept looking at her, and I was like, how can a person be this way? This is so ridiculous. She is so stupid. She is so amazing. She is so stubborn, and she is such a wacko. I had all these kinds of adjectives for her. And this is not getting any better. My dealing with her is not getting any better. One day, as I'm doing my journaling, Mani says, oh my God, she is so you. She is just like you. And I'm like, no way. I'm not this stupid. I'm not this idiot. What do you mean by she's just like me? This is so, you got to be kidding me. She is wacko. She's out of her mind. She is not like me. And he's like, she's so like you. So I'm like, how? And he says, when people come to you and say, there is this problem, and you're like, there is no problem. You just don't call it problem. There is no problem. Everything is a play of your energy. There is no problem at all. There are people who are trying to tell you, that their life is so difficult. You're just not signing into that. You're just stuck in your own story. You don't want to listen to them. Isn't she just like you? I almost fell off the chair laughing because she is as stubborn that there is no problem exactly as I am. And I couldn't see it. I couldn't see what some of you might be thinking about me, like दिमाग खराब है इस औरत को, इतनी मुश्किल से ये, my life has been so difficult and I've gone through so much, and she just sits over there and says, oh no problem at all, ये तो कुछ है ही नहीं, एक थोड़ा सा एनर्जी देख जाओ and everything will be okay and you don't worry about it, it's just your trigger. And so this is exactly how she's behaving with me. There's no problem at all. It's just your trigger. And so I fell off the chair laughing. And then I understood that what did I have to do? I was trying to label her with so many different adjectives. I just named some of those adjectives a few minutes ago. But then to be able to accept that I am exactly that. I am exactly that. So here is the first part of the solution. This is the first part of the solution. Accepting that the one that you are finding difficult, the person that you are finding difficult to deal with, look at what all they are exhibiting. What all characteristics of theirs do you not like at all? And then to be able to identify for yourself how you are that too. How you are that too. And sure enough, you will find so many places where you are having exactly the same kind of properties, but you haven't seen it with those eyes. You haven't. You've got an excuse, you've got a story. Oh, no, I need to be this way for my clients. I need to be this way for my family. Story, story, story. You are that way. You are that way. You're exhibiting some of those characteristics. So just come around to accept it. To accept this part. Yeah. So now let's read it. Cold behavior, right? So what is it in this that you have to start to accept? That you too go through with people. Some people you will also be giving the cold behavior to. You would be. And so now that you understand it, that somebody is giving you the cold behavior, they are reflecting that part of you. You're like, no, I'm always warm behavior. Take a look. You're not. If it's a pretense, it doesn't count as warm behavior, because the energy does not read pretenses. The energy reads vibrations. It doesn't read what this body is doing. Energy reads what you are actually feeling. So if you're pretending to be very warm and very nice and cordial and all of that, but the energy is like, ugh, then the energy is, ugh. And from that space, that cold behavior that you're experiencing, that is being reflected through this other person that you are finding difficult. So there you go. Now, strong judgment is their uniqueness. Strong judgment. And I like the way that you put the word. Judgment is their uniqueness. How beautiful that you're not calling it like a bad property or something. Just, it's unique. True, but it's so unique to all of us. As I keep saying to all of us, earth is a place for judgment. So everything that we go through, we do judge. We judge. We don't have any way around it. We would be judging even ourselves to say, I am awesome. That line is a judgment on the self. And I tell you, make that judgment all the time. Make it. Instead of saying, I'm so stupid, that would be the judgment. Say, I am so awesome. That would be the judgment. So on this earth, everything is all about judgment. Now, what do you not like about their strong judgment? You probably don't like the fact that when they make that strong judgment, they are not listening to you. They are not listening to your side of the story. They are not. So, firstly, of course, we accept that we behave exactly in the same way in some places, that we don't listen. We have understood, we've thought about it, we've come to a conclusion, and now this is our judgment. We spent many months researching the answer for this, and this is my judgment. We might be doing it that way. However, another set that you want to do after. So the first thing that you do is to say, okay, what all properties of theirs, and am I also like that? Am I also like that? Do I also sit in those places behaving like that? Now the second thing that you would do over here is, when they are being cold towards you, when they are being so strictly judgmental towards you, what am I feeling? Yeah. So what am I feeling? And when they are being like that, when they're not listening to you, when they're making one-sided decisions, I can guarantee what you're feeling is hurt. What you're feeling is angry and frustrated. So, as you feel your anger and frustration and hurt frequency, to be able to look into the hurt, I always say that hurt is a frequency, but hurt is a frequency created from your expectations. You have created a certain set of expectations that this person is going to be reasonable. Why are they going to be reasonable? Because they are reasonable to 5 other people, so they will be reasonable to me as well. Expectation of yours is an imaginary space, because your life is not getting constructed, not getting constructed from your expectation. It is getting constructed from your energy field. And so, expectation I can have many, but will my expectations be fulfilled, all of them? If only my energy field supports it. If only. So my energy field is actually supporting hurt. In this moment, I am feeling hurt. What does it mean? That in my energy, the hurt frequency has come to be experienced. So if the hurt frequency, anger, frustration has come to be experienced, then what kind of experiences is my energy going to continue to support? Exactly these kinds. Exactly the kinds of hurt and worry and frustration and anger and all of that. Doesn't matter what my expectation is. My expectation is that the whole world should fall at my feet. But only if I'm ready to fall at my own feet, if I think that I am that divine, that I am the one to be revered, I have to think that first. It is only my energy which is going to come back to me, at me. So when I am sitting in the energy of hurt, well, take a look at the energy, also at the expectations, and release the expectations, because really the universe has absolutely no inclination to go by your imagination. And your expectations are simply your imagination. You could have any expectation. You could want anything. Yeah, but they've been like that always. Okay, they've been like that because so far your energy field supported it. But today another frequency from your energy, another frequency from your energy is playing out, and they continue to be the actor. So a person that was loving you yesterday might not continue to love you today, and your expectation is they will continue to love me. They can only love you as much as the love within your energy field allows them to. And so what do you need to do? That we always know, to be able to love yourself unconditionally. Unconditionally, without any conditions. The only judgment that we make on ourselves: I am so awesome. I am so super awesome. Yeah. So there we go. Strong judgment, their uniqueness. Lovely neck piece on a lovely lady. Yeah. I picked this up yesterday from Ritika. Ritika Gandhi is probably here. Yeah, she is supporting this initiative, and I picked this up and totally showing off this one right here. XYZ is a bully, absolutely. And so the bullying is that someone is bullying over you. Someone is again not letting you behave in the way that you would want to be, and they are exercising control over you. or they wish to exercise control over you, and for that they are making your life so difficult, so difficult. And then again, the first question or the second question, reversible in that order. The first question: when somebody bullies me, what do I feel? When somebody bullies me, I feel so afraid. First answer would be, I feel so afraid of what all they might do to me. So this fear is your first emotion. So if someone is a bully in your space, they are the actor for fear. Who does the fear belong to? To you. Who has been given the role to play this fear out on the outside? That person. And so you begin to release your fear frequency. It's already manifesting, it's already playing out. And so to get by from a difficult person, the more we turn the finger within, we are going to be meeting with them every single day. And what do we do then when we do have to go through with bullies? We do whatever is necessary for us to feel safe. Firstly, the inner work. And so the outer will not change just if you say, okay, I'm fearless today. It's a frequency. Fear is a frequency. So constantly looking at it and releasing it, not just from that space, but where all in a day do you experience fear? Who all in a day are actors for you to experience that fear? It might be your own body. You have some illness, or you have, something in your body is hurting, and now you might even be with body as an actor. You might be feeling that fear. With somebody on the outside, the bully person, you might be feeling the fear. At work, you might be feeling the fear from a boss, from a subordinate. The fear is the frequency. And so you begin to look at it. The method is just that. It's just a frequency. The method has to start from this place that you have begun to recognize. You've begun to recognize the frequency. It's not about how to deal with this and how to deal with that, because this might change and that might go away. But if the fear continues and continues at this level that it has already created bullies outside you, then that is going to continue in life till you begin to recognize that fear itself is just a frequency. So fear is a frequency, and you begin to look at it in whichever places, in whichever buckets it's playing out in right now, and you look at your fear and release. And then what else are you feeling? Again, you're feeling unsafe, also comes from fear. The second part is mistrust. Mistrust of the universe, because it is produced for you, an actor that you completely, if trust is this end, then a bully is on the other spectrum, completely at the end of that other spectrum, and that is where they sit. So completely not to be trusted. Anything that they say is not. So what energy of yours is creating a bully on the outside? The energy of mistrust. So now already as a bully, we have fear and we have mistrust. And then of course, over the days, you will start to feel saddened and also pretty separated and alone. And so as that happens, as you are kind of, marked away and you do not have friends and you are being bullied and you're finding yourself in a corner, once again, the mantra for that, because when you're in a corner, what is actually life telling you in this moment? Life is only just telling you that you don't love yourself enough. When I love myself enough, I will find reflections coming and reflecting love back at me. But when I don't love myself enough, I'm going to find reflections, even of those people that I consider as bullies, and I name them as bullies, but even those people coming to me as my reflection. those people that do not love me, that do not wish to side with me, that do not wish to be with me, and only to trouble me. Who is it that is really, really, really troubling their own selves? You. So, what is it that we need to do? Mantra for that is always, I am awesome. I am awesome. As you begin to sit with this mantra a little bit more, it's not about what do you go and tell to the bully. That is not the first thing that you do. That action is only on the outside and is quite meaningless. Quite meaningless if you haven't changed your energy as yet. So we will come to one more piece on that. Just wanted to kind of give an example that's coming to me right now. So when I was younger, as in when the energy work hadn't started on me, then that's when I count myself as younger. But at that point in time, fearless was still my frequency. Abundance and fearless kind of go together. So fearless was still my frequency. Abundance was still my frequency, though I was not aware. And so, if somebody would come to me, domestic helps, etc., and sometimes even friends, and they would say, I'm going through domestic abuse, and my husband is beating me, or so and so is beating me, etc., and I really don't know what to do. I didn't understand guidance in those days, but my advice was exactly what I had done. So, in a first marriage, there was only one instance when that particular husband of mine tried to hit me. And as he tried to hit me, I hit him right back. So, and I hit him right back pretty hard in a place where it really hurts. And so that was what I did. And then, of course, that marriage didn't last, but then I didn't think that it was going to last, and I was definitely not going to stay over there. But all of my responses came from fearlessness. The energy already were fearlessness. So that's what I did, and then I was able to walk away, and I was able to preserve my sanity, etc., etc. But because that is what had happened to me, when somebody else would be going through domestic abuse, this is exactly the advice I would give them. I had no idea what energies were and so and so. And I was like, but when they are hitting you, why don't you just hit right back? Because they shouldn't be hitting you. And so that's that. If somebody is hitting you, you shouldn't be sitting down taking it. I don't understand, or at least I didn't understand at that point, that my energy field is completely different from theirs. And so while I sit in fearless, this is the right path for the fearless to do, but for the fearful, if they take the same action, they listen to me and they take the same action and they go and start hitting somebody back, oh no, it's going to multiply into more fear for them because they haven't released the fear. And so today, when somebody comes to me, I don't give advice, I give guidance, which means I tune into money and I let them know what is the right path for them. It might not be the first action that, okay, just beat them right back. That might not be the right path for them because their frequency is not at fearless right now. And so that is why I say first look into your frequency and see what all are you experiencing and begin the release process. Begin to release it with just this line first, to recognize that even though fear is right now in all parts of your world because this bully is, making your life so difficult right now, but still the starting point is fear is just a frequency. Either you let the fear sit above you, or you understand that it is just one of the 600 frequencies that you could be watching. So one channel that you are watching and it has fear on them, change that channel. Change the channel, and then whatever action you take. When people come to me with this, and then we go through a guided process and I tell them how to look at themselves and they keep working on themselves. And so many times it has been that the outside has changed. So many times it has been that, whoever is the bully, the husband or somebody else, a relative or somebody outside, they have changed once the energy of the person has changed. And so many times that scenario itself just completely dissolves. But for that to happen, the energy of fear has to be looked into, witnessed, to be seen as just a frequency. It's my frequency, and so I can change it. That is the starting point for you to be able to work on that difficult person that has manifested outside from your energies. That bully, that difficult person who has manifested on the outside. There was one more thing that I wanted to talk about, and which was, so two things that we've already spoken of. A, how am I that? So even for the bully, take a look. There are parts of you that might be a bully too. There are parts of you that are out there bullying others. And so those bullies, those other bullies that are bullying you, are showing you what parts of you do accept. Accept that yes, indeed, you are a bully too. It might not be always, but then those people are also not bullies always. So again, being able to accept that you too, yes, I too am a bully. In places I am a bully, in places I am the bullied. And in both of those places, I am awesome. In both of those places, I am awesome. Yeah? Not making a judgment on bullying is so bad, because in the energies, it's an experience. So there's nothing bad and good. The energy is just simply what it is playing out as, and it is simple. Once you begin to understand, it's just a frequency and you can change it. So that, and then of course from bullying, all the emotions that you have felt, take a look at that. So the one who is, so somebody else says that the one who is quite straightforward and blunt, that is the person that is a difficult one to deal with. Yeah, you are the crooked one and you prefer to deal with people who are crooked. And you don't like dealing with people who are straightforward and blunt. Well, that's not, that's again one half of the mirror, because I am sure that if I ask you, would you rather deal with people who are two-faced, or would you rather deal with people who is just one face? What would your answer be? Your answer would probably be, oh yeah, I would like to deal with people who are one face, but then you're not liking your one-facedness. You prefer that you should deal with people with a lie. Yeah, that people should not be blunt to you, they should not be straightforward to you, they should lie to you as to not hurt your feelings. This is what the problem we have with straightforward people, that he's so straightforward and he just hurts my feelings all the time because he's so straightforward and so blunt and doesn't care about my feelings. It's not for them to take care of your feelings. It is for you to look into your feelings. Not even to take care of them, but just simply to be able to look into them. That when somebody is straightforward, what am I feeling? I'm feeling hurt. Well, they are not hurting you. They are being who they are. Who is hurting you? Your hurt frequency is hurting you. And so take a look at the hurt frequency. Again, as we mentioned, hurt frequency, all about expectations. Yeah, this one is my brother, can't be doing this to me because this is not how the brothers behave. There is no such thing called a brother, mother, father, spouse, children. Everything is a reflection of your energy field. And so a brother will behave not as brothers are supposed to behave, but as your energy field tells him to behave. A wife, a child, same story everywhere. So each time that you sit with, oh, this one is straightforward and that one is crooked, you will have problems with crooked and you will have problems with straightforward. So simply take a look to understand that yes, on days you are crooked and on days you are straightforward too. And between both those days, at each point, are you able to see your own awesomeness? When they don't listen to what I say and respond the way I want them to say and do. Haha, so fun. Yeah, as I said, when they don't listen to what I say, why are they not listening? The answer lies in when they don't listen, what are you feeling? Simple answer, right? When they don't listen, are you feeling frustrated? Are you feeling like you know better and then they don't understand? Then in this one, just a little bit about what you know better and what they don't know is all about advice. It's all about, and the advice is coming from your energy field to them. They might not resonate. They wouldn't resonate because some fear that you are sitting and operating from isn't the fear that belongs to them. Different fear, okay, they have their own moments, but when you and somebody else are interacting, whatever it is that you are saying to them and wanting that they should listen to you, why should they listen to you? They are going to listen and operate from their own energy field. Each one of us is operating from our own energy field. At times we will listen to another only because our energy is resonating at that frequency and wants that to be part of the experience. Even as you come over here, so many people come to me, so many listen, and so many don't listen. And I understand that whoever listens, it is because their energy is asking for this abundance. And when somebody doesn't listen, I understand that their energy was asking for it. But in the body, they are still wanting to experience some more of the other stuff. Some more struggle or some more something which is not ease and grace. And it's okay. I'm not running after everybody saying, you're being so difficult, why don't you listen to what I'm telling you? I know what I'm telling you. I know what's right for you. I really know it's going to change your life. No. Why? Because I cannot change their life. Their energy field has already brought them to me, which means the energy is wishing to experience the change. However, free will, even though we only have 1% of the free will, but it reigns supreme. It reigns supreme even in unawareness. And so, where do we put our will towards? That is where the life journey is going to be currently. And so I cannot change that. And if I start to put my finger on, why aren't they listening to me? I want them to do this. Why aren't they doing this? Who is the one who is going to have broken expectations every moment? Me alone. And so as I have broken expectations, who is going to get hurt all the time? That will be me alone. And so to understand that by putting out expectations over there and then by clinging to those outcomes, I am creating sadness, hurt for myself. There is nobody in the picture except for me. That sadness belongs to me, the hurt belongs to me. So why should anybody be listening to you? If their energy is resonating at that frequency as yours, then they will. But if their energy is deciding for them to go in a different place, then they will. And so, coming to the place of मैं शिव और वो भी शिव. In each of those places when we forget कि मैं तो शिव, मेरे को तो सब पता है, पर वो तो शिव नहीं है, वहां पे गलत है, क्योंकि हर एक तो हर हर महादेव. So everyone is their own energy fields experiencer. In unawareness too, they are moving as per their energy field. And in awareness, they are moving as per their energy field, but also changing, being able to change their energy field. But that journey belongs to them and not to you. So if you find difficult that people are not listening to you, well, very much so, the problem sits with your expectations. Stubbornness, dominance, mistrust on people, says Avani. Okay, yes, those are the difficult people that we have in our lives. Many I have already discussed the stubbornness. I discussed in my own case, when we are to recognize our own stubbornness. And then, as we watch what is happening on the outside, the finger constantly with it. When we say somebody is stubborn, we are simply just wanting them to follow a different direction. And they're not following that different direction. They're continuing on their path. Yeah. So, that's their path for this life. What are you going to do about it? The work always within. What is the work that we have over here when I can see that somebody is stubborn and that's hurting me and hurting my family and all of that? Put the focus only on yourself. The focus only on yourself, because just as I said, each one a Shiva. They don't look like it. Somebody is a newborn. How are they a Shiva? They are already the Shiva. They created their own body. They came with their own energy field, and they came to experience exactly what you don't know, but their energy field is deciding. That is what they came to experience. And so when we do not like what somebody else is experiencing, when we do not like it, then we have thought of them as lesser than Shiva. Lesser than Shiva. So firstly, we have to acknowledge the Har Mahadev. Each one in their own story is the creator of their own universe. What can you do? Look at your story. What all is created in your heart? What frequencies do you sit in when someone is stubborn? When somebody is not willing to listen to you, even though they are causing havoc. But then, that is exactly the way that life is meant to go. Exactly the way. Why are you in that situation? Because these are your chosen experiences. Your chosen experiences. So sometimes when somebody else on the outside is stubborn and not listening, we feel helpless. We feel hopeless. We feel desperate to change them. We feel frustrated. Guess who all energies, or rather, who all do these frequencies belong to? It doesn't matter who all on the outside. All of these frequencies are belonging to you. So the work is in your frequencies. The work is to be able to continue to see, what is it producing today, what all do I need to look into today. An amazing story on this one. Amazing. When I was unaware, I was constantly trying to change my brother. Constantly. He had one marriage and it failed. It had another marriage. He had another marriage and that failed. And all for the same reason, domestic violence. And I would just be like, how can my own brother do this? So, can you see, sitting in so much of judgment towards a brother and wanting to change him, and sitting in so much of wanting to control how his life should be. His life should be happy, his life should be joyous, it should be like mine. His own energy field, of course I did not know. But when this journey started for me, and the first thing I said, when these answers started to come to me, and I was just still writing and not even knowing who's giving me the answers. Money was not even hadn't revealed himself to me, at least for another 8 more months. But when I sat down to say, okay, how do I change my brother? My question was some such thing like that. How do I change people around me, or how do I change my brother, or some such thing? The answer came. You have to give love to him. And I had no idea what love was, because I thought I was giving love to him. When I was caring for him and wanting him to change and giving him gyan, like this should not be the way that you should behave in a marriage. I thought that was coming from love, but that is where we don't understand love. And so the answer when it came, you should give love. And I sat down and I said, okay, maybe I should call him. and I should speak to him lovingly. Maybe that's what love is. So, so I called him. In 2 flat minutes, we had fought. And then he hung up the phone on me, and I sat down saying, oh, that didn't go too well. This giving of love didn't go well at all. And so this continued till one day, when this answer itself came, what is love? Love is not about what you have to give to people, not the gyan that you give to people, not the saving that you want to do the world. No, that's not love. That's the frequency of worry. That's the frequency of anxiety, fear, everything. It's not love. And the only way that you can give love to anyone is simply by saying, that's your journey and I accept it. This is your journey and I accept it. I have no wish to change you. That, in that moment, is unconditional love. And so I was like, that's funny. If I don't change him, then how will he change? But I didn't understand, so I started to do this part. Okay, this is your journey. And it's so amazing that because this was right now not his journey, this was right now my journey, and tests kept coming up. Something would happen and someone would call and tell me more stories or whatever, and I would go upar niche with every story, and I would have to release and come back to, this is your journey and I accept your journey. To be able to give love. It is so amazing that I had probably not been talking to my brother for about 1 or 2 years. We were having a conversation, but it wasn't really talking. It wasn't really having fun with him or anything. But I started to simply, and this is just in the energies, I started to accept his energy and I started to do work on myself. And our equation completely changed. Our equation became that of masti. Had he worked on himself? No, not yet. I didn't know anything about change, but I had worked on myself and I was willing to accept his journey. And so the love that I was now putting into my relationship with him was actually the love that I was giving to my parts as well. And as the journey moved forward, the relationship changed. And the most crazy part is this, that when he got into his next relationship, there was no violence. It's really crazy. He never worked on himself on that. But it was almost that he had to be that bad actor, just simply so that I could break the attachment and come to unconditional love. Of course, the stories that were happening wherever there was a domestic violence, the both of them are Shiva. So I understand that one asked for this story and the other did that story. It happened. One is asking, the other is giving, the one is receiving. And so it's always a play between two actors. And so if it's just a play, who's the villain in the story? It's a play that is being acted out by both energies. There is no villain. And that is where you get to understand that this story is not about judging this one as a good role or a bad role, but simply being able to see it's a role. It's a role. And when I was able to see that it's a role, suddenly that person was able to drop that role. So then the frequency, in which the next relationship came or whatever, that frequency was different. But it was almost that I did the work on myself and something so beautifully changed on the outside. Will it happen to everyone? Every story is different, so we really don't know. But I'm simply telling you the power is all about. When I got the answer, how do I need to change my brother? Well, work on yourself. And so I did this for many, many months, many years. Who's got their unmute? Hitokshi is unmuted. Okay, I've muted them now. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see, what else do we have? All these qualities are within me, being reflected to accept it as is. Yes, that's the final crux of the whole story. Emotional manipulation and suppressing or dominating people. People who dominate are the ones who are difficult for you to deal with. Then they are simply telling you that you are not in acceptance of your dominant self. You are not in acceptance. You don't have to be dominant. People are constantly in the body acting out in one way or another. But if you act as dominant on some days, then what do you feel about yourself? Do you feel good? Do you feel guilty? What is it that you're feeling? It's mostly about accepting that you are this person who gets easily dominated, and then you are also this person who can dominate. And being in acceptance in both sides of you. Some people, it's so beautiful that people just kind of tie themselves onto one bucket. So I had somebody who came to me and said, I am a very, very strong person. I'm a very strong person, and I wish to create that impression in front of my children. So I cannot be crying in front of my children. And I said, this suppressing of your own emotion, you want to cry. Why do you want to cry? So no, my daughter's leaving and I feel so much love and all of that. And I said, if anything, your show of love, you say you're a strong person, but it's not possible for somebody to only be strong, only to be sitting in that bucket. It is not possible. When you come to, when you have a 3-month-old baby in your arms and that 3-month-old baby is gurgling at you, are you going to be strong? Really? It makes no sense. What strength are you showing to that baby? No, you'd be smiling right back and being as weak as a little puddle, and then from that space, joy is going to come. So why are you afraid of being weak? Weakness can bring joy as much as strength can. And so dominating can bring joy as much as being dominated can. Both of them can bring you to joy if only you allow both sides, and if only you accept that both sides are simply you. So then another one which you had talked about was emotional manipulation. So don't understand this word only. Manipulation. Who can manipulate you? I can. I can totally manipulate you. Would you be having problems with me as the emotional manipulator? I actually do manipulate you, not just in person, oh my God, in the frequencies all the time. By taking on my frequency, you can emotionally manipulate yourself. So where is your problem with emotional manipulation? See, this is what money would do, or rather money did to me when I said, oh my God, that woman is so stubborn, and money is like, exactly like you, right? And so this is what I'm doing to you. You're saying, oh, somebody who is an emotional manipulator and manipulates your emotions to get what they want, whatever. You can't find a better emotional manipulator than me. Yeah, because even in my frequencies, I'm like, just simply change your frequency, manipulate your emotions. This is exactly what you're doing. So who is the emotional manipulator at all times when you're changing your frequency? You are. You are the one that's changing your emotional frequencies at all times. Bloody emotional manipulator. So you haven't accepted yourself as being the emotional manipulator because there's nobody on the outside. You are the biggest emotional manipulator to yourself, and you use meanal frequencies. Like you engage me also in all of your wrongdoings of emotional manipulation. That's what you do. So funny. Okay, so when we are going through somebody who is a dominant person, again, to be able to look at the full coin, you and that person, where is the common meeting ground? When you come to oneness, it's not about, I need to resonate with them at their frequency to come to oneness. No, There is nobody outside to come to oneness with. There is only oneness with the self. So all of these character traits that you are seeing, which are showing that I like this part of myself and I do not like this part of myself. So to be able to understand that this too, firstly, is a part of yourself, but is a disliked part of yourself. And that is why the universe is bringing it to you. It exists in your energies. But now that the universe is bringing it to you, do some work on yourself and be more loving towards all parts of yourself. I have this problem at most times that when people start to vent, I switch off. I do not like people who are venting. Like, iski kahani usko, uski kahani usko, or sabki kahani mere ko, or meri kahani bahar. Constantly in that loop of venting. So I have a problem with people that vent, and even and some people will vent for their own stuff, but venting definitely involves other people as well. And so that part of story I do not like. So I'm constantly, when I come through that space, when somebody is talking about something and venting to me, I'm constantly looking at, and not at them as to who they are, but what is money? What is my experience right now? In this whole scenario, what is my experience? And so, since I don't like, my experiences of dislike, my experiences of sometimes of disgust, yeah. So as I'm sitting in the frequency of disgust, I do not try to move away from the frequency of disgust. I simply acknowledge that it is not about the person. This is my experience of my frequency of disgust. The story is not about them, but the story is about disgust today. And is it okay to experience disgust? Yeah, it's just a frequency. So no judgment. Then when we started off, that person is constantly venting, that person is constantly bitching, blah, blah, blah. The story is about that person. But how can you make that story yours? When you come to the frequency, sometimes you release, but even before you release, it's just a frequency. And so if that frequency has even come to be experienced today, it is okay. It is okay for me to experience the frequency because it's just a frequency. Am I going to push disgust away? No. Am I going to push that other person away? No. It's just a frequency. And so from that space, if not today, then tomorrow, you are able to experience that oneness because you've taken away that basis for separation. Your frequency was the basis for separation. Your frequency was in separation or is in separation. And then the minute you say it's just a frequency and you allow it, that basis for separation is then released. The basis itself is released. You neither have to kill the messenger, nor you have to, kill the message. Both of them are allowed and accepted. And so I find this to be very, very helpful. And that's why even when we begin the release process, I constantly remind you, first line, it's just a frequency. So what I'm telling you right now is exactly the same thing. It's just an underlying to that to say, if it's just a frequency, I accept it for what it is. It's just a frequency. And this is my experience in the moment. It's my experience in the moment, and this is earth. So I will have separation experiences of the moment. And so if this is a separation of experience of the moment, I allow it. And the minute I allow it from that space, I allow it, the separation dissolves. The separation dissolves. So that is something that I find very, very easy then to maneuver through when I find difficult people or difficult situations. Hope that helps. I find it difficult to deal with relatives who ignore that I exist and I have feelings too. Yay, which part of you are you ignoring that those relatives have to actually keep coming and showing to you? And once again, as you look at more parts of you to accept, also looking at those relatives with just what are they making me feel? The hurt frequency. It's not just relatives, it's going to be anybody that you will allow for the actor of hurt frequency. We spoke about this to begin with. Expectations. You have expectations that your relatives will acknowledge your presence. The relatives are not being defined. Their roles are not being defined as per your expectations. Their roles are being defined as per your energy field. So hopefully, when you look at this entire thing again, and you will go through that part of expectations, then you will understand that expectation is where you are creating more and more hurt from. So when you meet them again, and this time again they are ignoring you, instantly within yourself, this one thing should go on, and that thing should be, I am awesome. I am so awesome. So, because who is ignoring you? You are the one ignoring yourself. You are ignoring so many awesome parts of yourself. They are simply showing you that. And so, when somebody ignores you, gratitude for the understanding that they are simply bringing you towards self-love. Another story on this. Today seems to be the story session since we haven't done a session for so long. Another story on this. So I had one actor in my life who was exactly this, living in my house for a few months every year, and then not just ignoring me but also making life very, very difficult for me. And this was the role, very clearly, that I gave to my mother-in-law. The role, please understand, this was the role I gave to my mother-in-law. Of course I was unaware. So of course I couldn't understand how she could do this. Like, why would she lie so much? And why she would behave like this? I went on and on and on. Of course, all that went through till awareness hit, till this journey hit me. And so, once this journey hit me, and then she did this. And this time I was sitting in so much hurt, but I ran inside and sat down with the journal. And I asked, okay, what is she here to teach me? What is she here to teach me? Really, this is like the pits. And how can it be like this? And how can she even behave like this? What is wrong with her? Okay, what is she here to teach me? The finger did come in after the initial 2-3 minutes of complete anger and frustration. But when the finger came in, the answer came. She is here to teach you self-love. I was like, ये भी कोई तरीका होता है self-love दिखाने का? I mean, how can she take me to self-love with this, by behaving like this? And then they said, yeah, because you are trying to please her and she's not getting pleased. And you are trying to do things for her and she's not getting pleased. And then you're like, she is the problem. I am awesome. I don't need to do anything. So in a very roundabout way, I did come to that understanding that I am so awesome and she is not. What did awareness do? It brought me to a place of gratitude for the role that she picked in my life. So she did bring me, because there was a time when I said, okay, I'm not sitting for more of this. I'm done doing things for others and I'm only going to pay attention to myself. She brought me to that. She brought me to a place of total frustration from where I said that. And then I began my journey, but it began in frustration because I was not in awareness at that time. Today, when people come to me, I'm able to make it easier for them because now I can see what was happening over there. And had I been in awareness right from the beginning, how that would have played out differently. Because as soon as I came in awareness, as soon as I changed the finger to be pointing towards me, oh my God, she changed. And she changed in such an amazing way that she would come here for 2 months and go back and like she's had enough of me and I was so bad, and I would be like, oh my God, I've had enough of her. And then when my journey changed, when my finger came in, she actually started to spend 6 months, 8 months with me. And all of that, and it didn't trigger me anymore because the equation had changed. But the equation hadn't changed because she had changed. The equation had changed because I had received whatever role I had asked her to play. I asked her to play that role, the finger is here. She played the role with utmost brilliance. But when she did, she brought me to a place of self-love. Today, if I would look at the energy of self-love, it would not be, I am awesome and she is not. It would be, thank you for doing whatever you did to make me understand this place of self-love. In her journey, she is whoever she is, each one a Shiva. Each one a Shiva. The journey is not that I understand that everyone is awesome. I understand everyone is their own creator. And in the middle of all of that, we have to remind ourselves of how awesome we are. Lack of commitment towards their job and not getting the work done with quality. Those are the difficult people that we deal with, where there is lack of commitment. How beautiful. When there is lack of commitment from their side, the question to ask at your end would be, what am I feeling? This idea of perfection, again, day of stories, so we all live with these ideas of perfection as we understand it. Is life going to play out with perfection as we understand it? Nope. Life is going to play out as per the energy that we hold. Our perfection is a figment of our imagination. Just as our expectation is, because really, this is the expectation of perfection. I like my work to be done this way, and this is the right way to do it, because this is how it should be done. That is actually correct. Each of us were perfectionists, and that was so much me in my banking role, in my investment banking role. Such a perfectionist to the T. Everything had to be exactly as how I had imagined it. And when it wasn't performed that way, oh my God, people got Danda. I was even Danda Devi then, and I'm Danda Devi today. The difference was that when work wasn't done as per my expectation, there was anger, there was rage. On many of those occasions, there was rage. At the breaking of expectations, not chota mota anger, but rage. And then those people, obviously now that I understand energies, those people would have asked for fear frequencies. And so I was the delivery mechanism for their fear frequency to totally go up. And for me, I was the frequency of anger and rage. And what happened? Who was I growing that anger for? Who was I growing that frustration for? So then I started to notice that anger was a few times in the day, and then it was more and getting more, and I was becoming a totally angry person. Thank God for this journey, because it started, and the first thing that I really worked on was my anger. And the anger came from this idea of perfection. When perfection is broken, what is my experience going to be? That of anger. Complete frustration, complete anger, and then therefore growing that frequency. So, started to work on that. Did I stop getting angry at them? No. Continued. But as that was continuing on the outside, on the inside, I was able to bring myself back to peace. And I actually noticed that as I brought myself to joy and peace, more people started to do better quality of work. Why is that? That when I was angry, people were doing out of fear and whatever, people were doing and producing their quality work. But more people started to behave more responsibly, more committedly, when I actually started to feel no anger inside. I would be angry with them, I would show my anger at them, and I would check inside at all times saying, what am I feeling? And inside was like, It's all right, the universe is playing in my favor. This is all taken care of. This is the universe taking care of me by showing me that I need to still release my anger. Can you see? I did not now anymore take that personally to say, oh, those people are idiots and therefore get angry. But the universe is simply showing me through them that my anger frequency has come to be released a little bit more today. And outside, the whole natak went on, but people could see the shift in me. But forget what the people saw in me. Why was it that I was getting more productivity out of people? Simply because when I give up my anger, I grow masti. I grow joy. If I am already sitting at another level of joy, what will the outside universe bring to me? The outside universe will bring to me a little bit more joy. I do get a lot of joy when the work is done on time with amazing quality. So what will the universe start to bring to me a little bit more at work? More joy. Through this as well. And sometimes through something else, but more joy. So the work really is simply to be able to look at, they are being difficult. They are difficult people to deal with because of my idea of perfection. But what is my idea of perfection doing for me? So whatever it is doing for you, giving you frustration, hopelessness, helplessness, to me the answer was anger. To me the answer was rage. And so I released that and the outside started to shift and brought me more joy. You take a look at what it is doing for you. So it's friction. Can we say it? You can say anything that you want. Monica says difficult relatives who seem too dominating and stubborn. Yes, we already kind of answered it. You would be able to find your answer. People who don't communicate openly, they keep it in their heart and they don't voice out their thoughts. Haha. This is so different from, this is completely different from the problem that Darshan had, which was like people are straightforward and blunt. But it's two sides of the same story. And so the answer pretty much remains the same. That when you are looking at people and saying, okay, they are keeping it inside and they are not bringing it out, look at yourself. Which all things you are keeping inside and not bringing it out. Because bringing it out is not important. Actually, bringing it out is not important at all. What is important is that you accept that yes, there is a part of you that you hold and there's a part of you that comes out and there's also a part of you that holds things inside. You do the same thing. Over here, when we have a problem with the outside, we're like, they are like this and I am not like that. So over here, they've simply come to show you that indeed you are also like that. You don't blurt out everything. No, you're also doing sometimes this and sometimes that. And so simply accept that you are one face and at times you are two-faced too. Yeah. And then sometimes you are suppressing and sometimes you are expressing too. And so you are doing both of those, and through both of those phases of yours, each one is simply a role sometimes that we are playing to others, but each one, through each of your roles, I am awesome. When I am expressing, I am awesome. When I am suppressing, I'm still awesome. I am awesome. That doesn't change. That part of us is what stays with us for self-love. And actually, to round it up, when we are finding difficult people on the outside, we are just simply finding it difficult to love parts of ourselves that they are projecting. We are finding it difficult to love those parts of us. And that's where this whole difficulty of accepting people on the outside comes through. We find people difficult in a certain way because we haven't accepted those parts of us. Mom, would the money movie be put on YouTube? Yes. So today, what I'm going to do, just to give a, a to give a little bit of introduction for those of us who weren't in Jaipur, who didn't come to Jaipur. In Jaipur, we released an interview with somebody who worked very closely with money for almost 10 years and worked in an area which was completely hidden from his family, was hidden from me, was hidden from mother, was hidden from all of us. None of us knew this side, this aspect of money. And when we found out, oh my God, our jaws dropped. Because what we knew of money, frequency of Mani Madhukar, there's a little bit of an introduction that I gave over there, in that, he was a writer, he was a Sahitya Academy Award winner at the youngest age of 32. Nobody else after him ever has been given an award, the Sahitya Academy Award, at that age. So he was the Sahitya Academy Award winner. He was a family person, such a, so closely tied to his children and to the family. He was press advisor to the prime ministers and presidents, and he was a press advisor, so was advising them on strategy. And I thought that is what he was doing, advising them on strategy. But then came out this big reveal that happened in an interview. And so we had showcased that movie in Jaipur. And today, after we are done with this, I will put up that movie at some point in time, in another few minutes. I will put up that movie on our YouTube channel, and then you can see Mani, the one that we didn't know who he was. And it is mind-blowing. It is totally, all of us were left totally jaw-dropped when we heard that part from him. So that is going to be put out on YouTube today itself. Okay. Why will all the people who want to be beaten up keep coming in front of the one who is beating them always? Why not? There's a perfect role play. The person who wants to get beaten cannot come to another person who wants to get beaten. That's not how the story plays out. The person who wants to get beaten will have to match up with a person that they can give that kind of a role to, the one who will be able to show them their reflection in perfection. And so that is how perfectly our energies match up. If I'm looking for something, in my energies, if I'm looking to be a giver today of something, let us say that giving is of, gifts, then my energy would go find someone who is to be a receiver of the gifts. If there are two givers, then who will get the gifts? Who will be the receiver of the gift? So always the role is of a giver and a receiver. And so understand this as a gift. If the gift is of a beating, then one is the giver and the other is a receiver. It's simply just always playing out, one this and one this, and then the other one this and one this. So always playing out in perfection, in resonance of the energies. Okay then. Alright, that went so bloody long. My God, 1.5 hours I've been speaking and speaking. So no more meditation today. No meditation today for all. But we just do 1 minute of the same. So take a deep breath in. Put your palms out. And as you put your palms out, take a look. Take a look at this bindi. This is the radiating point as you speak. So take a look at the bindi. Hold it in you. I am Meenal. I am Meenal. I am Meenal. Okay, everyone. Lots and lots of love to all of you. Thank you so much. See you guys. Bye, everybody.